Hi, I'm Jenny Molineux and I'm the Eye Clinic Liaison Officer working for the RNIB here in East Lancashire Health Trust within the Eye Clinic at the Royal Blackburn and Burnley General Teaching Hospitals. I've been an Eye Clinic Liaison Officer now for coming up for 2 years. And the reason that I decided and become an Eye Clinic Liaison Officer is because when I was diagnosed with my eye condition back in 2004, unfortunately I didn't have access to an ECLO. I was diagnosed with an eye condition called reverse retinitis pigmentosa. That is a degenerative genetic eye condition that has been passed down through my family. I was misdiagnosed as having dyslexia at the age of 7. And then throughout my education through primary school and high school, I was given support for dyslexia, but actually it wasn't dyslexia. I actually had a degenerative eye condition that wasn't picked up until I was 19 when I went for a regular eye test, and subsequently 2 years later I was registered as severely sight impaired with the eye condition I've got, reverse retinitis pigmentosa. At that point I was 21 and my life goals suddenly took a big change. I had to change courses at university. I didn't really know what I was going to do job-wise, and over the subsequent 3 years I went through a little bit of a roller coaster. I didn't have any access to services, so I didn't know what was available. I was wanting to move out like my friends were, living independently. I didn't know whether I was ever going to be able to do that. And for 3 years I struggled with the emotional impact that it was having on myself, but also struggled with the emotional impact it was having on my family and friends as well. After 3 years I got put in contact with the RNIB, and through their help and support and advice I managed to get myself back on my feet. I attended some counselling sessions through the RNIB, got support from their employment coordinator, and then slowly and surely started to realise that actually just because I have experienced sight loss doesn't necessarily mean that I can't fulfil and achieve goals that I thought I possibly wouldn't be able to do anymore. It just means I have to go about them a bit differently. And that's kind of how I got to where I am today. I am really passionate about the Eye Clinic having the access to an ECLO. I get to support people like myself who have been diagnosed with sight loss. It's a really scary time, not just for the patient, it's knowing, or the unknowing of what's going to happen, for their families not knowing how to support them, and just general access to information can be quite scary and quite difficult. So here in the Eye Clinic, I'm based where the consultants, as and when they are diagnosing patients with sight loss, will send them to me to have a chat, as I've got more time to sit there and listen and give the advice that's relevant to each individual patient and their family and circumstances. So you will find me here in East Lancashire Hospital Trust, along with my guide dog Oscar, who sat with me today. Oscar also comes into the Eye Clinic. He is my support to help me with my mobility. So Oscar's favourite day of the week is a Thursday when we go to Paediatric Eye Clinic. We do that Thursday mornings, and he absolutely adores all the children coming round and giving him a fuss, which is great for me, giving advice to parents of young people who are experiencing sight loss. So with me working across the whole of the East Lancashire Health Trust, although I am clinic based within both hospitals here in Blackburn and in Burnley Eye Clinic as well, I do support all patients across the whole of the East Lancashire Health Trust. They can be referred in by their GP, by the low vision services, or here within the hospital. Or patients can also refer themselves in to my service as well by picking up the phone and giving me a call. My telephone number is 07738 120 763. That's 07738 120763. Or patients can drop me an email asking me to call them. My contact email address is jenny.molineux@rnib.org.uk. So that's jenny.molineux@rnib.org.uk.